Okay, in the previous session, we discussed about the data types here. So what are all the data types we are having in our Java language? So that we identified here. And if you see how this particular data types we identified here, and now you can see we come up with the one int number. Let me clean up other. Okay, and we declare the int number and we initialize the value and we try to modify this particular value, and same way we define the if conditions, and we come up with a short related example and float related example. So these are all the last session we discussed here. Okay, no problem. So I will give you the recorded session. So just go through the recorded session what we discussed so far here, and you can grab up the previous 4 classes here. Okay, observe here in Java language we have a different types of operators we are having. For example, the operators what we are going to discuss here. First one is arithmetic operator. Getting the point. Arithmetic operator, and we'll try to identify the relational operators here. Okay, relational operators, and so we'll try to identify the logical operators. So these are all the different types of operators we are having in our Java language. So first one is arithmetic operator, and second one is relational operator, third one is logical operator. We'll understand here how these particular operators are going to use. So if we observe the arithmetic operators here, what are all the different types of arithmetic operators we are having? Okay, so addition operator, subtraction operator, and multiplication operator, and so division operator. Okay, so these are all the basic mathematical related operators we can use in our Java language. So along with this, now what we will understand here, we'll try to identify the module operator. So this is important here, how this particular module operator is going to work, and increment operators, and decrement operators. Getting the point. Increment operators and decrement operators, and the same way we'll have some other example on the assignment operators. So the assignment operator we'll discuss later. So now observe carefully: addition operator, subtraction, multiplication, division, module operator, increment, and decrement operator. So these are all the basic arithmetic operator. Okay, so once we come up with the basic arithmetic operator, we'll move on to the relation operators. Okay, so let's have a simple example on this, like how these arithmetic operators are going to work here. Okay, let me create a one class here, and the name of the class here, how I'm trying to create here. So if we observe basic math here, name of our class here, basic math I'm trying to create here. Okay, inside this basic math I'm trying to generate the main method, and observe carefully. So this is the main method I'm generating here, and whatever we are going to write the basic arithmetic related example under the main method we are going to define here. Okay, right now don't worry what exactly the main method will do. So try to cover up the previous 4 classes here, so then only you can get to know why we are using this particular main method. Okay, we'll try to cover up if you are having any questions. Okay, so back to here. Now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to define one data type called int a. And what exactly the int data type will do here? Int a is equals to, what I'm doing is I'm trying to use the addition operator. So observe carefully, 1 plus 1. So between, I'm using the addition operator here. Okay, so whatever the value we are going to get, the value it will assign into this particular a variable. Okay, this is the basic simple example, 1 plus 1. So what is the result we are going to get here? 2. This 2 value is going to initialize into the a variable here. Getting the point? So this particular 2 value is going to initialize into the 2 variable. So if we observe carefully, the right side value, every time whenever we are using the single equal here, the whatever the right side value we are going to have, this value it's going to store into this particular variable here. So right now what is the name of the variable we are using here? A variable. And what is the data type it is contained here? That is called int. Why we are using the int here? Because int contain the number related values here. Getting the point? This particular int data type can contain number related values. So number related values, if you are trying to store, we should define the data type called int. Getting the point? So this int related sections we already discussed in the previous example. Okay, so this is the way we can initialize the value, and right now the a value will contain the 2 value, because we are trying to come up with the addition operator. And the same way, if we observe into B, and here now what I'm doing is into B is equals to here, if you observe carefully, A multiply 3. A multiply 3. Getting the point? So what is the A value right now we are having? 2. And here, what we are doing here, we are trying to come up with a multiplication operator here. So using this particular operator, we are multiply something, and whatever the result we are going to get, again, here also same. So again, the result, whatever this particular expression will give you the result we are trying to store into this particular variable called B. So right now, A value we are having 2, and B value. If I want to find out this particular B value, what is the expression we want to multiply? Here we are having A multiplication 3. So right now, what is the A value? We are having 2. So 2 multiplication of 3. Okay. The result what we are going to get here? 6 here. The 6 value is going to store into the variable called B. Okay. So A value 2, B value 6. Getting the point? So this is a way we need to understand the multiplication as operator, how it is using inside our Java language here. And one more, what I'm doing is I'm trying to define into C. Into C is equals to B division by 4. Okay. So here I'm using the division operator. Here I'm using division operator. So that we already identified how we can come up with the division operator. And finally, so this is the subtraction operator I'm using. So C minus A. Getting the point? So C minus A. Observe carefully. So into C value, how we are trying to initializing it? B division by 4. And whatever this particular D value, I'm trying to initializing. So C minus A. Whatever the C result we are going to get, based on the C result, I'm trying to subtract the value, and the particular value again I'm trying to initializing into this particular D. Okay. So can you do all the operation here? Can you provide the output what you're trying to think here? Okay. So I want to print here A value. Okay. So here I want to print all the values here. Okay. So what you are trying to think here? Can you explain me what is your output here? So what is the A value, and what is the B value, and what is the C value, and finally what is the D value? So can you please let me know what you are trying to think of the particular A, B, C, D values here? So it's a simple mathematical operations here. So here, to find out the A value, we need to do some addition on these two, and for B value, we need to multiply this. Okay. For C value, we need to use the division operator here, and for D value, what we need here? C minus A. C minus A. So these are all the 4 operators we are using here, and using this particular 4 operators here, we can find out the result here. Okay. So if you are thinking it is difficult here, observe carefully. I'm running an example here, and see the outputs here. So A value 2, B value 6 here, and C value 1, and D value, what is the D value we are getting here? Minus 1. And how these particular values are getting here? How these particular values are getting here? Based on this particular operators here. Based on this particular operators here. Okay. Any questions? Any questions regarding this simple example? No? It's clear? Okay. So, and observe what I want to provide here. So A value 2, and B value 6 here, and C value 1, and D value -1. Why we are getting the -1? Here the C value, based on this particular subtraction, we are trying to find out the something. Here we are getting one bigger value and another one is smaller value. Because of this, we are getting a minus value here. Okay, and finally, I'm going to use a double data type here. So if you observe, double DA is equals to 1.0 plus 2.0. Getting the point? 1.0 plus I'm using the 2.0, or we can modify the value. So if you observe, so this double data type is expecting different value. You can see is expecting after this particular dot is expecting the value. If you observe any amount related example, because amount related example we'll try to use this kind of format here. Okay, after precision, whatever the values we are going to provide, so these values are going to identified by this particular double data type here. Okay, now observe double DA and so double DB is equals to, now what I'm doing here, so DA multiply 3. Getting the point? So DA multiply 3. And finally, so double DC is equals to, here also I'm using the same operation like the multiplication, addition and subtraction related operator I'm using it. So observe carefully how I'm trying to use. So double DD is equals to, here DC minus DA. Getting the point? So DC minus DA. So this is the one more example we are trying to come up with a double data type here. And here I want to change here. Okay, now you can see how this particular double related example, how it is going to print. And I'll identify here. So these are all the A related values. We come up with the integer data type here. And for this particular DA related here, we're using double data type. Now you can see the result how we are getting 3.5, 625 and minus 0.5 here. Getting the point? Because whenever we are doing this particular subtraction here, so the based on the division operator, and the division operator internally it is working on the multiplication, and the multiplication operation internally it is working on the addition operator here. Okay, so this is important here. So how we can find out the result here? Same way how we identified here. Same way how we identified here. So it's nothing but 0 plus 2.5, 1.0 plus. So what is the result we are getting here? Something like, okay, and so 3.5 multiplication into what is the value we are getting the point. So what is the result we are getting? If you multiply this particular value, what is the result we are getting here? So observe carefully, 10.5. 10.5 we are getting here. Okay, so this is important here. If this particular dot is not available, if the dot is not available, so this is the different value. It's become 35. But here we should provide the dot. Okay, 3.5, because the dot is going to expected by the double data type here. Dot is going to expected by the double data type here. And the same way, so we identify the division operator. To find out the division operator, what is the result we are having here? 10.5 division of 4. Okay, so it's like 4 here, 10.5. Okay, what is the result we are going to get here? The result is going to store into the DC. Oh, okay, what is the result we are getting DC? Something like here, 2.625. Whenever we are doing the 2.625, we are getting the remainder as a 0. We are getting the remainder as a 0 here. Okay, so this is the value, this particular value is going to store into the DC variable. And finally, we are doing the subtraction here. The final one, we are doing the subtraction here. Okay, so this is the basic example we are doing here, mathematics related. If you know how we can come up with the arithmetic and subtraction, multiplication, and division operator. So you can easily understand here how this particular example are working. Only the difference here, values here. So the interrelated example is expecting numbers, and the double related example along with the number is expecting the precision values. It's like a after the dot, whatever the value we are going to provide, the particular values are going to expected by this particular double data type here. Okay, so you can go through the previous recorded session how we are going to use the double data type, and along with the double data type here, what are all the other data type we are having. Okay, so this is the simple example we are identifying with help of the basic arithmetic related here. Okay, any questions on this particular double related example? Still anyone having any question? No, all are clear. So if you are having some problem, you can message me. Okay, right. Now what I will do, if we observe the basic mathematic example, we'll try to use a module operator. How we can come up with a module operator? So basically, module operator, it will give you the reminder value. Okay, so whatever the division operator we are using here. So if you observe, so for example, I'm trying to multiply with something like 225, and here whatever this particular reminder we are going to get, the reminder is written by the particular module operator. So division operator is going to return by the right side section of values here. Okay, so this is we need to understand very carefully here. Okay, so whenever you are using the module operator, we need to focus about this particular value here, this particular value here. Okay, I will try to come up with a simple example how exactly it is going to provide the values here. So let's cite the simple example, and here only I'm providing the module related example here. Int x is equals to something like 42. Int x is equals to something like 42 I'm defining, and in double y is equals to I'm trying to define 42.25. 42.25. So this is important, we need to understand here. And finally, now what I'm doing here I'm trying to, so here I'm trying to use the module operator with the 10 here. Getting the point? Here I'm trying to come up with the module operator with the 10 here. So observe x mod of this particular 10 I'm using it, and now you can see here I'm using the module operator and I'm passing the 10 value. Getting the point? So right now, what is the x value we are having? Right now, x value is 42 here. Getting the point? And the x value is going to divide with the 10. And whatever the remainder we are going to get, the remainder is going to store into the. So here we are trying to print the remainder value, but here the remainder is going to return by the particular module operator here. Okay, and the another one here we need to work on the y here. So y mod of 10, and instead of x here I am trying to modify with y. Okay, so first one is the into data type, and the second one is a double data type here. Okay, if we observe how this example will look like here. So 10, 42. Okay, so here we'll get the 4, and the result will become 2 here. Okay, so for integer related, the x module will return by this particular 2, and the y module is going to return by the 2.25 here. Why? Because it is a double data type, and this is the into data type we are using. So this is the result we are going to get from the whenever we are using this particular module operator here. Okay, whenever we are using this particular module operator, you can see this particular example here, how this particular module operator is going to work. So whatever the reminder we are getting here, whatever the reminder we are getting this particular 2, this 2 is going to print in our example here. This 2 is going to print down in our example here. Okay, so let me print this example. So observe carefully, X mod how much we are getting here? So 2 we are getting, and Y how much we are getting here? So 2.25 we are getting, because so this particular value is going to copy as it is here. So after the dot, whatever the value we are having, we are going to copy as it is into whenever we are doing the module operator here. Getting the point? So this is the important example how this particular module operator is going to work. Okay. So any questions regarding this particular module operator? Okay. So now if you observe one more example, I am going to use. So something like into xy I'm using. So this is the different variable I'm using. Something like 78 I'm defining, and into yz. Into yz is equals to, I'm trying to use 56 here. Okay. And here I'm going to find out the result here. So int result is equals to, I'm declaring the result here. I want to find out the result here. Result is equals to xmy dot something like 20. Okay. So the module I'm trying to change with 20 here, and I'm going to print this particular result here. And finally, what I'm doing, and again, I'm trying to use the result here. But here at this time, so I'm trying to use the yz module of 30. So now see this particular result here. So see this particular result, how we are trying to print here. Okay, this is important. We need to understand here. Right now here we are using the 10 here, but here I modified with the different here. So right now I'm using the 20, and here I'm trying to use the 30. Okay, so observe carefully how this particular result we are going to get here. So first result we are getting as a 18 for this particular xy module of this particular 20, and the second one we are getting as a 26 here. 26. How we are getting this? So this is important. We need to understand here. Okay, here again we need to write here. So 20, and here so 78 here. Getting the point? 20 here we are going to write the 78 here. Okay, so here what is the value I'm getting here? 60 I'm passing here, something like 18 I'm passing here. Getting the point? So this is the same reminder is written by this particular result. The result how we are getting it? This is an expression xy modulo of 20. Getting the point? This is important here. So 18, the reminder, whatever the reminder we are getting, the reminder is storing into this particular result, something like 34. But if we observe, same variable we are using for the multiple purposes here. So here I'm using the same result variable, and line number 36 also I'm using the same variable here. But the value is going to override. Initially the value will become 18, and the second time the value will become 26 here. Okay, now observe 30. I'm passing here 30 here, and so what is the yz? The yz we are having here 56 here. The yz we are having the value called 56 here. So how many times it's going to multiply here? Only one time here. So 6 I'm passing, and 26 here. But how we can get this particular values here? Whatever this particular 26 we are having, whatever this particular 26 we are having, the 26 is storing into this particular result here. Getting the point? Whatever the output we are getting here, same we are getting or not here? Same we are getting or not? So this is the way we need to identify the module operator. This is the way we need to identify the module operator here. Okay. So any questions regarding this example, what we discussed so far here? Okay, so I'm expecting I did not receive any response. All are clear? Okay, so now observe, we'll move on to the assignment operator here. Basically, what we need to understand here, so just now we discussed here the basic mathematics related example and module operator we discussed here, and finally we'll move on to the arithmetic component assignment operator here. Okay, arithmetic component assignment operator, how exactly it is going to work here. Okay, let's see the simple example on this. So right now, if I want to add addition operator, what I'm doing is I'm trying to initializing like this. Let me comment out all the section here. Whatever discussed so far, I'm trying to comment out here, and we'll come back to the main location here. And observe, int a is equals to something like I given as a 10. Okay, I given as a 10 here. So when I'm trying to initializing a value as a 10, after this, now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to come up with incrementing it. Like increment is nothing but I want to add 4 values here. For this particular 10, I want to add 4 values. How I'm going to add here? Okay, if we observe, a is equals to a plus 4. A is equals to a plus 4. How it is going to add here? Right now, what is the a value we are having here? Right now, a value how much is? That is called 10 here. So if we observe carefully, a plus 4. A plus 4. So instead of a, what is the value we are having? That is called 10. Okay, 10 plus 4. So the result will become 14. Again, this result here, where we are trying to store. Again, this particular result, where we are trying to store here, if you see here, the line number 7, how we are defining? A is equals to a plus 4. Again, we are initializing into the same variable here. What is the name of the variable here? A. Getting the point? So, and if I'm going to same a variable, if I'm trying to write here, a value now how much here? 14. So I explain here, the right side value is going to store into the left side variable here. It's going to store into this particular left side variable here. Okay, it's going to store into this particular left side variable. But here, what we need to identify, this is important here. Whenever I'm trying to define a plus 4, how it is look like a, what is the value of this particular a, currently it's contained, it's going to append with the 4 here, like it's going to add with the 4 here. Finally, so it's doing internally like this, 10 plus 4, the result we are going to get as a 14. Okay, the result we are going to get as a 14, and once you get this particular 14, we are trying to initialize into the same variable here. Okay, so let's observe the simple example. What I will do here, I'm going to print here. Okay, here I will print the here. But now to understand more example, I'm trying to run this into the debug mode. So inside this particular right side variable section, you can easily understand here. So you can see inside this particular right side variable grid, here you can see this is important here. Right now, what is the a value we are having here? Here you can identify the 10 value. Here we are having 10 value. Now what I am doing here, whenever this particular operation is completed, which operation here? This operation is completed. So right now, what is the 10 a value is contained? 10. So 10 value now it's going to append with one more 4 here, and finally you can observe carefully, the a value is now modified here. The a value is now modified here. So what is the now result here? Something like 14 we are getting. How we are getting this particular 14 here? Because we are doing the some expressions like a is equals to a plus 4, a plus 4. This particular a value initially it contain 10 here, 10 plus 4, and finally the result we are getting as a 14 here. Okay, so here if you observe, the 14 is matching here. Getting the point? It is matching this particular 14. And finally, what we are doing is we are trying to print the A value. If you see, this is the A value. The 14 we are getting in the console. Okay. So this is the way we can add the expressions and we can find out the result here. But if you observe, if you understand this example, the line number 7, what I am doing here. So what I am going to write right now, you can easily understand this. So if you see, here I am defining like this. A plus is equals to 4. Okay. A plus is equals to 4. This is section, whatever I'm trying to highlighting the line number 9, this section will call it as a component assignment operator here. Getting the point? This is, we'll call it as a component assignment operator. What exactly it will do internally? What exactly it will do internally? It will try to evaluate the expression, whatever the way I define above. So the line number 7, how I am defining the way, so internally the line number 9 is going to do the same operation. So internally it is going to define like this. A is equals to A plus 4. A is equals to A plus 4. So if I'm trying to write one more variable. So for example, here I'm trying to write the, so here I'm trying to define C multiplication is equals to 10. If I'm trying to write the C multiplication is equals to 10. The above line number 9, what we are doing is A plus is equals to 4. It is a component assignment operator. And the same way, the component multiplication operator, how I am defining it, this is C multiplication is equals to 10. How it internally, it will evaluate here, C is equals to C multiply 10. C is equals to C multiply 10. But this is the internal conversion I'm explaining here. Getting the point? This is the internal conversion I'm explaining here. Okay, this is important here. And another one here, so I want to write D division of 45. Okay, this particular D division of this particular 45 here. Observe carefully how it is going to work here. How this example is going to work. If you see, D is equals to D division of 45 here. Okay, so these are all the advanced section we are discussing here. So this is the component operator based on the whatever the operator we are going to use here. So it will try to identify the different naming convention here. It will try to identify the particular different naming convention here. Okay, so this is important section I'm trying to discussing the component operator here, and observe how we can write the simple example here. How we can write the simple example. So let me comment out. We can remove this. Here I'm trying to write the simple example. Int A is equals to 1. I'm not taking the much bigger values here. So int A is equals to 1 and int B is equals to 2 and int C is equals to something like 3. Okay, so these are all the 3 values I'm adding. But now I'm trying to define the component operators here. If you observe, A plus is equals to 5. A plus is equals to 5 and B multiply is equals to 4. Getting the point? And C plus is equals to A multiply B. Getting the point? C plus is equals to A multiply B. And these are all the C values. And finally, one more operator I'm using, that is called module operator. So C module operator is equals to 6. C module operator is equals to 6. And finally, what we will do, we'll try to print the A and B and C values here. A and B and C values I'm trying to print here. Getting the point? This is important here. So that you need to think about this particular expressions here. So the line number 9 to 12, what are all the expression we defined here? So the expression is important here. How these particular values are going to change? That we need to understand here. Okay, if I'm going to run this example, now you can see A value 6 we are getting, B value 8 we are getting, and so C value we are getting as a 3 here. But how it is getting it? That how it is getting this values here, that we need to evaluate, like we need to so write the expression explicitly, then you can easily understand here. So how this expression is going to modify internally, something like A is equal to A plus 5. Okay, A is equals to A plus 5, and here so B is equals to B multiply 4. B is equals to B multiply 4, and this is C is equals to C plus C is equals to C plus, here it will try to multiply this. So whenever it is converting like this, so we need to write the parenthesis here. Why we need to write this particular parenthesis here? Because it's going to take highest priority first to the multiplication. Later it will do the addition operator. Getting the point? Later it will do the addition operator here. Okay, so this is the way it will convert the value, and finally this example C is equals to C modulo of 6. C is equals to C modulo of 6. Okay, so this is the way the component operators are going to convert internally like this. But explicitly you can write this whatever we want to provide the values here, and this will internally it will converting like this here. Okay, so any questions? I'm not sure you are understanding or okay, so this is we identified here, but observe carefully one more important example. What I want to give here, and here increment and decrement here. The increment and decrement operators how we can give here. Okay, the increment and value of C. I could not understand, Krishna, what is your query? Okay, so let's see how this particular increment and decrement operator will work in our Java language. So while you see basically again, so first from the line number 9 we need to understand the value. So what is the A value right now? We are having 1. 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5 is equals to 6 here. Right now A value how much here? We are having 6. And what about this particular B? And B here, it's going to multiply the value. Is going to multiply the value. So how it is going to multiply the value? 2 into 2 multiply 4. Okay, and this is become 8 here. So this is the B value. And what about this particular C value? And here the C value, C plus, we are doing the multiplication A and B. So A and B, A value 6 and B value 8. What is the result we are going to get? Okay, so you can imagine this result will be 40. But right now C value how much here? 3. Right now the original value how much here? 3. The result will become here, what happening here? 43. Okay, 43. And what we are doing here, so we are doing the module operator. You can do the module operator like this here. Okay, what is the result we are going to get here? The result we are trying to store into the C variable here. Getting the point? So this is the way you need to perform explicitly the operation here. So first A value, later B value and C value, and this is the module operator here. This is the module operator. what is this particular reminder we are going to get, and the reminder is storing into this particular C, and the reminder finally we are getting as a 3. Okay, so this is the way we need to write explicit the values here. Then only we'll get to know how this particular component operators are going to work internally. Okay, is it clear? Any questions? Okay, so if we don't have here, we'll move on to the one of the important concept called increment and decrement here. So we'll see how this particular increment and decrementer will work here. So to understand this particular increment and decrement here, let me clear this console here and observe. So basically, so to increment by only one value, what it will do? If I want to increment one value, how we are going to do here? So this is the simple way we'll try to increment here. Okay. So here x is equals to x plus 1. So for example, x value we are having 10. If I want to increment only one value, if I want to increment one value, what we are doing here? X is equals to x plus 1. So the original x value how much here? 10. The 10 plus 1, 11. Again, what we are doing here? We are trying to store into the same x value here. But here, every time, how much value is incrementing here? Only one value. If you see here, the line number 10 here, we are incrementing 5. Here we are incrementing 5 here. But here the line number 6, so how much value we are incrementing? Only one value we are incrementing here. Getting the point? So we are increment only one value here. Okay, that we need to understand carefully. So instead of writing like this, in our Java language, we have a increment operator. The increment operator, how it will do? So for example, I want to increment the a value. I want to increment the a value. So here if you see, you can write a plus plus. You can write a plus plus. Whenever we are writing like this here, a plus plus, what happens internally? It's going to look like this. A is equals to a plus 1. Getting the point? Internally, a is equals to a plus 1 here. This is important here. Whenever we are trying to write this particular plus plus operator here. Okay, this section will call it as a increment operator. Okay, and here we need to understand the two types of increment operator. And you can see plus plus a and a plus plus. So see the differences here. Plus plus a is also will do the same, and a plus plus will also increment only one value. Whenever we are writing the plus plus a and a plus plus, it will increment only one value. Okay, but the increment value is important. When the increment value is going to increment here. Getting the point? So this is, we need to understand carefully here. So this section will call it as a pre-increment operator, and this will call it as a post-increment here. So see the difference here, pre-increment and post-increment here. Basically, pre-increment, what it will do? It will try to increment the value first. It will increment the value first. Later, it will perform the operation. Getting the point? So if we observe carefully, so line number 14 I'm keeping as it is. If we observe carefully, the line number 12. The line number 12, now what I'm doing it, I'm trying to multiplying the A and B. A and B I'm multiplying. If I'm trying to write here plus plus A. If I'm trying to write plus plus A, what happens internally? What is the A value right now we are getting? Up to that line number 10, we are going to get as a 6 here. Getting the point? We are going to get as a 6. Whenever we are getting as a 6 here, based on the 6, first what it will do, it will increment the A value first. It will increment the A value first, and later it will perform the operation. It will perform this particular multiplication operation. Okay, this is important, we need to understand. So if you observe carefully the result, what is the result we are getting right now? 683. Okay, 683. If I'm going to run one more time, so see the output, it get different here. So instead of 683, we'll get the different value. So now you can see 785. Getting the point? 785 we are getting. Why we are getting the 7 here? Earlier it is a 6. Why it is getting the 7 here? Because of this. Because of this. Plus plus A. Plus plus A. Getting the point? It is incrementing only one value. Initially it is 6. Now it is become 7. Okay. So now if you observe the C value we are getting as a 5. The C value we are getting as a 5. Okay. So again understand here I'm doing post increment here. Here I'm doing the post increment here. So compare the one more time output here. So right now 785. Right now what is the output we are getting? 785. So if I'm going to run one more time, compare the output one more time. So now if you see 783. 783. Why I'm getting the 3 here? Getting the point? So why I'm getting the 3 again? Earlier the C value it is a 5, but again now the C value 3. Again now the C value 3. Why the value is changed here? So whenever I'm modifying to pre-increment to the post-increment, again the value is the whatever the C value, it's modified here. It is because of the post-increment operator. Pre-increment operator, what it will do? So earlier A value 6 here. Okay. With the help of this particular pre-increment operator, it will modify the A value first. It will modify the A value first and it will multiply later. Getting the point? It will multiply like this. Okay, this is important. So with the updated value, it will multiply. But whenever I'm trying to use the post increment operator, whatever the original value we are having, getting the point? Whatever the original value we are having, with the original value only, it will do the multiplication operation, not with the updated one. So once this particular expression is completed, later it will update the value. Later it will update the value. Getting the point? So this is very important, we need to understand. So this is the pre-increment and post-increment operator. Okay. So let's have simple the same example. We'll try to cover up with pre-increment and post-increment here. Again, you can observe the same example. I'm running in the debug mode, so you'll get to know a little bit more. So right side section is important here. So carefully observe this particular right side section, how this particular variables are modifying internally. Okay, A value 1, B value 2, and C value 3. Okay, now the A value how much? Now the A value how much here? The A value 6 here. Getting the pen? Here the A value 6. Okay, and observe carefully. So B value how much? 8 here. But whenever I'm doing this particular expression, here, what is the result I'm getting here? Okay, so you can see 59 I'm getting. Why I'm getting the 59 here? And why I'm getting the 59? And if you observe the A value also modified. A value also modified. Getting the point? A value also modified. The A value 7. Okay, how we are getting the 59 here? So observe carefully. And here, what we need to understand here? C is equals to C plus, here we need to write here A multiplication B. Okay, this is the expression. And right now A value how much? 7. And 7 multiply B. What is the B value we are having? 8 here. Okay, right now we are having, right now how much we are having? 7 multiply 8 here. How much the result we are going to get here? Getting the point? What is the result we are going to get? 7 into 8 here. So this is basically the result here we are going to get as a we are going to get as this particular result 56 here. So once we get this particular 56, and what is the C value? Originally, what is the C value? So C value here we are having 3, and okay, if you observe, C is equals to C plus, and here I'm trying to multiply A multiply B. Okay, and here C plus, what is the multiplication value we are going to get here? Something like 56 we are getting. And what is the C value? 3. 3 plus 56. Carrying the back. 3 plus 56. It's become 59. Carrying the back. 59. But so same example, I'm going to come up with a post increment operator. Okay, I'm going to come up with a post increment operator. And here, so C value right now 59. And with the help of 59, I'm going to come up with a module operator. So the module operator is going to multiply it with this 6 here. Okay. So what is the result we are going to get here? 6. What is the result we are going to get? 16 to 9 here. And here, so here what we can write here, something like a 54. And what is the output we are going to get? 5. Getting the point? This is the remainder here. Whatever the remainder we are getting, the remainder is going to store into this particular C here. So now observe C value how much here? You can see here the C value we are getting 5. How we are getting the 5? So just now we identified here. So 6 is going to multiply with this particular 59. Whatever the remainder we are going to get, the remainder is going to store as a this particular module operator here. Okay. Right now we are getting 5 here. Okay. Now observe. So the same example again we are going to run here. So the values we identified here 785 we are printing. Okay. So again only the difference what I will do, instead of pre-increment here I'm going to come up with a post increment operator. I'm going to come up with a post increment operator. Now again see the right side variable section. A value how much? A value 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that we already identified. A value 6. Okay. B value 8. And here this is important here. This is important. So again we need to write C is equals to C plus A multiply B, and C plus A multiply B. What is the A value we are having? 6. And what is the B value we are having? 8 here. So 6 multiply with 8 here. What is the result we are going to get here? What is the result we are going to get? Something like 48. Earlier, how much we are getting here? 56. Right now, how much we are getting? 48. And 48 plus 3. What is the C value we are having? 3. 3 plus 48 here. Okay. It's like a. So what is the result we are going to get? 51 here. Okay. So now you can see if I'm going to come to the line number 13. Line number 13, the C result you can see. C value we are getting the 51. Along with the 51, the A value is modified now. Why A value is modified? After the expression completed, the A value is going to modify because it is a post increment. If you see here, I'm trying to multiply with the 6 multiply 8 here, not 7 with 8. Getting the point? This is important here. If you do the 7 multiply with 8, the result will become something like 56. But here, what we are getting here? 48 only. How we are getting the 48? Because whatever the original value we have, earlier, whatever the original value we are having, the A value, with the original value only, it is modified, like it is going to multiply the value, not with the updated one. Not with the updated one. If it is doing the updated value, the result will get something like 56. 56 plus 3, 59. But what is the C value we are getting? 51 here. Now what do you understand? Whatever the original value, with the original value only, it is multiplied here. And now What we need to understand here, C value we identified 51. So you do the division operation here, 51. Okay. So now you can see what is a 6, 8 here. Okay. Here, what is the result we are going to get here? 48 here. Something like a 3 we are going to get. Something like a 3. Getting the point? So if you do the same multiplication here, so 6 8s. So 6 8s here we are going to get 48. And if I'm doing the subtraction here, we'll get the 3 here. Okay. So this is the reminder of this particular module operator here. Now if you see the C value, how much we are getting here? C value you can see here in the variable section 3. Getting the point? So same thing we expected or not. But what we need to understand here that is important here, basically with the post increment and pre-increment. Pre-increment, first it will give you the priority to the increment the value, and whatever the value is incremented, with the incremented value only it will modify the other operations here. It will modify the other operations. And what about the post increment here? Post increment, basically it will come up with the original value, and once the operation is completed, it will update the value. So this is the important thing we need to understand here. Okay. So this is all about the pre-increment and post increment example. Now, so I will stop the session here. We'll continue tomorrow, like decrement operators we are having, and I will give you the, so up to the what we discussed so far here, and along with that I'm going to provide the other videos what we discussed so far here. Okay. And I will upload the recorded session what we discussed today into our playlist here. Okay. Any questions regarding our today's session?
Hi, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, if we are using different data types for different variables, then what will happen for increment and decrement, sir?
Nothing happens. So if you do the same operation with a double data type, same thing, only one value. If you come up with any other data type, not only the int, float, double, char, boolean, so it will work on the number related data type, not the boolean here. Every time if you use the increment operator, one value is increment. If you do the decrement, one value will decrease here. Okay, the increment and decrement operator will work on all the number data type, like so it will work on the byte, short, int, long, and float and double, and it will work on the char also. So these are all the 4, 6, 7 data types. Okay, the increment operator and decrement operator will work on the 7 data types here.
Okay.
The example we can see in the tomorrow. Once we familiar with the decrement here, we'll try to come up with different data types, and we'll see the multiple examples.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so if you don't have anything, we'll continue tomorrow, and I will give you you can ask the same playlist where I'm going to upload the videos here. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.